Hello and welcome to Opening Bars. Unless you are heavily into the Japanese music scene, you may not be familiar with Hatsune Miku. With a catalog of well over 100,000 songs, she is the most well-known artist of her kind. What kind, you might ask? Well, a Vocaloid, in fact. Not a real person, Hatsune Miku is a persona voiced by a singing synthesizer computer application developed by Krypton Future Media. The name of the character comes from merging the Japanese words for first, hatsu, sound, ne, and future, miku, thus meaning the first sound of the future. Hatsune Miku has performed live at her concerts on stage as an animated projection hologram, clips of which can be found on YouTube. Make sure you bring a glow stick to her concerts. This particular song is written by RERULILI, which translates to silence in English. His bio on the Vocaloid.wiki site states, he's a producer who mainly uses Miku and Gumi. He started publishing original Vocaloid songs back in 2009. His real name is Teruhei Sasaki. He lives in Tokyo, has blood type A. He's 184 centimeters tall. His hobbies are cooking and cleaning. Check out his Facebook page. Let's look at the score. We'll use the treble clef for both the right hand and the left hand here, switching to the bass clef for the last note of this phrase in the left hand, with a key signature of 6 flats and a common time signature of 4/4. So, looking at a harmonic analysis, this looks and feels weirdly like our previous lesson in Opening Bars, the See You Again episode. We have an oddly similar right-hand rhythm of 8th notes and 16ths, and the cyclical functioning that feels like cadences in each measure. Of course, the most captivating moment of the opening bars is the appearance of a B-flat 7 sharp 5 flat 9. So here's B-flat major, adding the flat 7, now sharpening the 5, and adding a flat 9. That's a great chord. It certainly took me by surprise the first time I heard it. That sharpened 5th in the chord really gives it a powerful motivation to resolve as the 3rd in the following E-flat minor chord. And the D-flat, the initial one at least, is an appoggiatura, falling to that C-flat 9. The whole chord would normally resolve to E-flat minor, but in this case, moves directly back into a full repetition beginning on that A-flat minor 9. Now, just because we see a raised leading tone doesn't mean that we're using a harmonic version of the minor scale, as this songwriter relies heavily on D-flat major, the flat 7 chord in E-flat minor. The D natural itself is used to strengthen that progression, especially at the perfect cadence. When we look at the Roman numeral analysis, see that I've notated that A-flat minor 7 chord as a 4/6, because I hear A-flat minor to D-flat and B-flat minor to E-flat movement. The second appearance of the D-flat is a secondary dominant, seemingly modulating to G-flat, which is the relative major of E-flat minor, but then quickly slips away with that final extended B-flat chord. That's really fun. Let's look at the rhythm. Even though the right hand is rhythmically similar to the See You Again example, the left hand in this case is not syncopated. It is squarely on the primary beat divisions, There's a full range of half, quarter, eighth, 16th, and grace notes here. Be sure to give them all the proper lengths they deserve. Especially, do not rush the 16ths. You can either be sloppy about your playing, or be precise while still being musical in your presentation. The grace notes in particular should appear just before the prior beat, and the rolled chords should begin on the beat. Let's do that with a metronome. Now that you know all of the notes, let's look at some aspects of technique. Although not rhythmically difficult to play, you will have to move your hands around a lot. One thing you will notice is how I've divided the hands for the scale-like passages. The first example in measure 2 is simple enough to recognize, but the trick is to play it in a way that the listener would not be able to identify which hand was playing. By that I mean it should be one continuous line. Your right hand and left hand may naturally play with different weights, or you may have a tendency to strike notes with your thumb with more unintentional velocity than the others. Listen carefully to your own playing to see if you can even that out. The second example of this, in measure 4, I've divided asymmetrically because I needed a way to get my hand ready and in position to get that B-flat extended chord. Use your second finger of your right hand to get to that G-flat, and you'll be all set. Those rolled chords too present a problem, for if you try and divide them between your two hands, you may get inconsistent results. I personally use my right hand alone for these, using my right hand thumb to highlight the notated left hand note. I think an enrichment exercise for this song could be many things, but I'd like to recommend that you try to lift all of the chords from the verse and the chorus using your ears only. Don't tap out and immediately jump for the online sheet music. Start with the lowest bass notes you hear. Try to determine a harmonic framework without worrying about the actual notes. And then maybe pick out topmost notes. Distinguish patterns and scales. Which chords are then major? Which ones are minor underneath? Which ones are extended or use 7th, 9th, 11th, or 13th notes? Then start filling in the middle of this Oreo cookie musical treat. Let your brain and your ears work together to build and strengthen your musical mind. I hope you enjoyed your lesson today. Remember, don't just play notes. Make music. Until next time, thanks for listening.